Now, singer-songwriter Guy Horne has just released his new single, Broken Before. But as well as his music career, Guy is also an entrepreneur and has created a business to raise money for an affordable housing scheme. And he's created new homes for over 8,000 vulnerable people across the UK. Well, I sat down to speak to him about his music and his mission.
The song we wrote that night. I'm confronted by your ghost.
Broken Before is my new single. It's about heartbreak, about getting over a past relationship. It's about understanding what went wrong in that relationship and how can I do better? How can I look to the future and think, well, actually, I've been hurt before, but I've got a whole life ahead of me. But also, what pain does that come with? How might things go wrong next time? And am I scared to take that leap next time because of the pain that I felt before?
What's it like to put out something so personal into the world for everyone to hear? Is it exciting? Is it nerve-wracking? I mean, what's the process of that?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we do it. That's why I'm in music, is to share stories that people can connect with. This is my story that is something personal to me, but then suddenly people listen to it and it means something completely different to them. And it's a song that they heard for the first time when they were doing this, or when they were going through this breakup, or when they were getting into this relationship. So what one song means to someone, it's a breakup song, and to someone else it's a get-together song, it's an anniversary song, and so it's beautiful and it's an amazing way to connect.
I want to talk a little bit about, aside from the music, the work that you've been doing with your social impact business. Can you tell us a bit about that and how that came about?
Yeah, well, I've kind of always been entrepreneurial as a kid, and finished university and decided I didn't want to go into the working world, and I thought, well, how can I do something that's interesting but make some money but do some good in the world? There was a huge homelessness problem in Manchester. I was living in the city centre of Manchester at the time, which is where I'm from. So I started speaking to various people about understanding, why are there rough sleepers? Why is there such a homelessness problem? So I started by clubbing together some money to buy a small terrace property with my now business partner in the outskirts of Greater Manchester. At the time, you were able to buy a house for less than £50,000. And we thought, right, well, we can do this. We can buy some houses. We can look after people. We can partner with, with organisations to deliver high quality accommodation. And then once we did one, then it was like, oh, we can do two, and then we can do four, and then it kind of spiraled. And over the last 8 years, we've delivered 10,000 units of accommodation, affordable housing across the UK, which is really fantastic. Super proud of that.
Guy, also, as a final question, both with your music career and with what you've done as an entrepreneur, it sounds like you are very people-focused, and I'm so interested in, when you were setting out on both those endeavours and what you've done in your life, how have you, and at what part of the process have you balanced the drive for success, personally, to sort of be successful, with that social impact element of it? Is it something that's always been there right at the beginning for you? And just for people out there who are setting out, it can be very easy to think, I just want to get to the top, I want to be successful. But you've managed to sort of incorporate both, being successful but also giving something back, and I'm really curious how you've managed to balance that.
Being intentional for me, and I think it means different things for different people. The social impact nature really came to the forefront of my mind, probably not till about 18 months in to the work that I was doing, and it was when I was moving in. An asylum seeker, a refugee, who I think had just come from Afghanistan, and he had bought a £10 top-up from the local newsagents, and he couldn't top up his phone. He didn't know how to use it. And he kind of came up to me and was like, hey, can you help me to top up my phone? And it just became so real that this actual person had just come from across the world. He's got a mobile phone, you know, that must be worth £20, you know, he's now put money on his mobile, probably to call home, to text home. It just became like, you know, and I remember I was a young teenage kid and I used to have to go to the supermarket and like top up my mobile because I wasn't on a contract yet. And then it was like, it really humanized it, that actually these people need help and they're real people that we were working with. I hadn't really had much contact with them at then. And then I started speaking to people a lot more. So it kind of like really humanized it for me. And it took on a whole other level. And whilst the business was, you know, fortunately really successful from the off, what I think it did is I think it allowed a lot more third-party people to get on board with what we're doing and get on board with our message, because we were then able to echo this message of like, yes, we're able to generate, you know, attractive returns and you are doing good with the world, but actually it's like you're doing really good for this person. And I think everyone can really relate to things on an individual basis.
And Guy's third single, Broken Before, is out now.